strategy of the Virtues Project is recognizing teachable moments. Instead of shaming and blaming when mistakes happen, it's about reframing and renaming those virtues. And actually, there's a couple different pieces to recognizing teachable moments. So let's do the reframing and the renaming. How many of you all know somebody who's stubborn? Just one person. All right, I want you to think of this person and I want you to say with me, "You're so stubborn," 3 times. Are you ready? Here we go. You're so stubborn. You're so stubborn. You're so stubborn. Where did you feel that in your body? So a lot of you felt it in your solar plexus, some of you in your shoulders, or maybe in your head. We're gonna reframe that word stubborn, and we're going to turn it into the virtue of determination. All right, same thing, but we're just renaming it. I want you to think of that same person, and this time, instead of saying "you're so stubborn," I want you to say with me 3 times, "You're so determined," and notice where it feels in your body. Ready? You're so determined. You're so determined. You're so determined. Point to where you feel it. Yeah, in our hearts. Isn't that amazing? So reframing and renaming, it is the language of virtues in essence, but it's really about coming from a place of love and positivity, right? We're looking for the good. So renaming stubborn to determination. Another part of recognizing teachable moments is, let's say that you did something that you weren't particularly fond of. Maybe you stayed up all night, you made a healthy lunch, and then you left it in your refrigerator. Many of us, when we get to work and we realize that happens, we're like, "Oh, crud," or something worse. "I'm so stupid. I can't believe I stayed up really late and I made my healthy lunch and I left it in the refrigerator." That is not helpful to hit yourself upside the head. Instead, you can actually use a virtue's guidance once you honor that teachable moment and say, what virtue would be helpful? Perhaps I should be more mindful and remember to bring my lunch to work. One of those strategies that I could use is put my keys on my lunch, and I actually do this. So this is how I would say it to myself. Dara, perhaps it would be helpful to be more mindful of your need to bring your lunch. Strategy, put your keys on your lunch, and that's going to help you to be more mindful and bring your lunch to work. And then finally, another part of recognizing teachable moments is something called the Act with Tact Positivity Sandwich. It's an acronym: acknowledge, correct, and thank. So let's imagine, I'm going to give you this as for educator example, that you have a 5-year-old kindergarten, really excited, come into school, and they're the line leader. And their job is to put something up on the board with magnets. So they come in, they throw their backpack on the floor, they run up to the board to do their job. And most educators would probably say, "Go back and walk, pick up your backpack, hang it up." Oh my goodness, but then we would have squashed the virtue and or virtues that that child demonstrated. They showed enthusiasm and they showed responsibility. And so what we're going to do is we're going to acknowledge them, and then we're going to correct or guide them to the virtue that we want them to show, which may be orderliness or care. Orderliness, hanging up their backpack, or care, walking carefully so that they don't trip, right? And then we're going to thank them for their cooperation. So get ready to put the sandwich together. So, Jake, I see your enthusiasm and your responsibility wanting to do your job. Please be orderly, hang up your backpack, and walk carefully so that you're safe. Thank you for your cooperation. That Act with Tact sandwich can be done at home. It could be done in the office with a performance review. But don't feel like you always need to use the Act with Tact. It's okay just to give a virtue's guidance or correction. Stop. Please be orderly and put your belongings back where they belong. It's really okay. And then the one last little teachable moment is an act with tact sandwich doesn't sound like this. I see your enthusiasm wanting to do your job, but be orderly and. When we say the word but, it negates everything in front of that word. So it's either period or and. So I hope that's helpful in understanding teachable moments.